what I'm going to share with you today. It's a slightly different thinking. It may not be very easy to just understand the whole concept based on an hour presentation, but I hope that you can get as many information from it as possible. So we're starting the presentation. This is a presentation that I presented in Chiang Mai about 2 weeks ago to the people in Chiang Mai as well. And I will re-emphasize some of this information and concept and model that we use before, right? So please feel free to stop me if you have questions and ask, okay? So the topic I will be talking about, Dr. Ek, you can, yes. Anyone who needs a translation device, you can get it outside the room. There is a translation device out there, so you can listen because we have a very fantastic translators in the room. They're very, very good, and we have been working for a couple of times. They're very, very good. So we'll wait for everybody who gets those devices to come back in. This is the part where I like face-to-face conference and live conference because we have all those devices and technology available, and that we are closer to each other, and the interaction and question is better. So I've been asked to speak a little bit slower for translation purpose. So I will try to speak slower a little bit. Okay, I'm joking. Thank you. All right, so today's topic, we will talk about total system approach. We have been talking a lot about how we manage personnel, how we manage our patient safety, and now the 3P, we talk about how people is involved in the safety perspective. The reason why human is being involved in all the P's that you have in Thailand, for example, and all the safety topics that we talk about, simply because majority of the incidents globally involves human. We human and healthcare colleagues who works in the hospital are one of the main contributing factor to incidents in the hospital. That is why we need to take a bit of a thinking and look at how we deal with safety. And traditionally, what we have been doing, and I'll talk a little bit about that, and then what do we want to do in the near future, and what is that concept and that framework that we could use to help us move forward and be better than what we do already now, right? So for those who doesn't know who ACRI is, I will take 5 minutes to introduce ACRI. So this is really the agenda I'm going to be talking about, a total safe system approach to how we want to deal with safety. Quick introduction on ACRI. So not too many words. I try not to have too many words in our slides. Stella does a very good job in putting those together. Here is Dr. Joe Noble. 1960s, Dr. Joe Noble actually founded the organization. So this is him in I think towards the year 2014. We lost him. He's our founder. We lost him to cancer. So he passed away. Just before he passed, he was a neurosurgeon. So Dr. Noble used to work in the emergency department where patients are pushed into the emergency department in Philadelphia. So what happened was that one evening, a 4-year-old boy was pushed into the emergency department at night. He was trying to resuscitate the boy. Unfortunately, the resuscitator failed and the boy passed. So from that day onwards, he says that medical devices are not safe. Somebody needs to tell the truth which device is safe, which device is not safe. Hence, he founded ECRI, and the time why it's ECRI, it's because he was working in the emergency department, and it is called Emergency Care Research Institute, hence ECRI. But because over the decades that we have been doing research and our work that we work on, we work beyond the emergency department. Hence, we have to rebrand ourselves and call ourselves ACRI. And before we landed up becoming right down here, before we become ACRI down here, we changed from Emergency Care Research Institute to ACRI Institute, then we became ACRI. So we took away the institute work as well. So we are a non-for-profit. Our main mandate for the organization is to use knowledge and research finding, share with community of healthcare people like all of you here and all of you on the call as well, so that you have unbiased, independent information. We believe that if you have those independent information, you can make very good decisions for your facility, for your care setting, for your staff, and for your patient itself. So we believe by you making very good decisions with the evidence and information, our healthcare can be safer. We can reduce preventable harm. That's what we believe in doing. So we exist because we need to continue to do those research and we need to continue to share those evidence. I always say this as a joke to everyone. The day that there is no more harm in the hospital, ACRI cease to exist. You do not need us anymore. Right? So this is Dr. Noble. You can see this machine here, here and here. This is your very, very first emergency card design. He was the founding designer of your e-card in your hospital today, where you put all your intubation equipments, your defibrillators, your resuscitators, and your medicine and everything else. This is the very first model design. He founded this. In the world, there's only 2 more units left. One is in our office in Philadelphia, and the other one is in the museum. So there's no more of this left. This is your very first model of your e-card. A little bit history about ACRI. I told you about the stories in the 60s where we started to research on technologies and information. So you can see we started to research them. Then in the 70s, we started to publish articles as an independent organization. When we start publishing those articles were meant for initially Dr. Noble's own hospital. But then people find that that information was so good that many other hospitals in the United States are requesting for those information itself. So therefore, we started to distribute those information to the other hospitals. Then in the 73, more and more people get to know about this published paper. And then the Congress has actually requested Dr. Noble to testify in the Congress meeting. And his testimonial has actually led to US FDA being asked or requested or mandated to regulate medical device. So in the old days, FDA exists, but they are called Food and Drug. They are not called Food and Drug and Medical Device Administration. So after they learn about these documents, FDA becomes mandated to actually regulate the medical device. Then because we do a lot of evidence research independently, we are actually designated. So this designation is not something we can apply or buy. It's a designation awarded or designated by the federal government of the United States to us because we do independent research. And there's only 13 organizations in the United States that are designated by the government as an EBPC. Then in 2018, we realized that safety needs a way to reduce. And like in Thailand, now you have HAI to come up with the initiative to learn from history. So in the United States in the 2008, actually during early 2000 or mid 2000, we already actually suggested to the Department of Health that you need an independent body to be looking at all the adverse event report, collecting and analyzing and reviewing, and then sharing back to the community the learning of the case. No names, no details, just the case. The reason why PSO exists in the US is because it is supposed, PSO stands for Patient Safety Organization, so if you want to know. So we are officially designated for the states, different states. So there is a law that require hospital to submit their adverse event report to us. It's by law. So every hospital in the state must submit their adverse event report to a PSO organization. What we do with the report is that we help the hospital look at some of their RCAs that they perform. We also take the case information, do analysis, and then republish learnings. Just like your Thai top 10 safety concern report that you saw HAI produce for 2023, sorry. And those reports are learnings that we can learn from. And ACRI produces those reports every year also. So without having actual facts, we are unable to produce those reports. So we have those facts, and those facts came from the report from the hospital, so we have them. So 2008, we're already working on how do we learn from adverse event reports, right? Then we move on, and those days were purely a lot about processes and all. Then in 2020, we got affiliated with ISMP. Some pharmacists would understand because ISMP is Institute of Safe Medication Practice. They are exactly the same kind of organization like us. But they only focus on medication safety. So ACRI and ISMP now is a combined organization. We become one, and now we have data information not only for device and processes, but also specifically towards medication safety itself. 21, we joined the EPIC initiative was actually initiated by the World Bank's subsidiary called International Financial Corporation. These are the organizations that are affiliated to development banks. So if they are lending money to any country, like government-to-government lending, they want to make sure that the money used for healthcare are ethically being used. And we're part of the APIC initiative as well. And in 2021 as well, ACRI is also an institution member of ASQA. So I'm pretty sure you all know who ASQA is. So we are also an institutional member of ASQA. So that's what we are quickly. So we make a difference in many different ways. We try to influence all the healthcare or major healthcare community so that with the same goal, we hope that our evidence, our information that we find, our knowledge, skilled personnel can help our healthcare community to do better using facts and evidence. Right? So these are just some of the highlights of the organization that we work with internationally. We have labs in the world. People say, how do you do research and how do we test equipment? This is our founding exercise in the 1960s. We started to bring in medical equipment to our laboratory and we start testing those equipment itself. So there's 2 laboratories in the world for ACRI. One is in US, the other one is in Kuala Lumpur. It's in my office in Kuala Lumpur. So this is my lab in Malaysia. We bring in medical equipment from all over the world. Anything that is not sold in the United States will come to us, and we start doing a testing, independent testing and evaluation. Thereafter, we publish an independent report. If the device is good, we will give a lot of stars. If the device is no good, then we will give very little stars. And we will write in the report why is it good and why is it not good. These are based on research protocols that is designed to test those equipment itself. And we have those research protocols. And to a certain extent as well, many a times we develop new protocols to test those new innovation as well. Just like now we are going to test 5 Tesla MRI soon. Nobody has used a 5 Tesla or a 7 Tesla MRI, but we are going to go test those new equipment soon. Right? So those are things that we will do, and we will create protocols to test those equipment and publish them. So that's what we do as a part of the lab.